Hey guys, Jason Harris from Ozark Mountain Adventures. Why do I run an ARB bull bar? On top of being one of the most iconic bumpers ever be made in the world, you can get these things literally worldwide. And I don't know of any bumper that looks better on an old Land Cruiser than an ARB bull bar. As a matter of fact, any Toyota four-wheel drive to me, an ARB bull bar is one of the best looking bumpers. But it goes down to much more than just looks for me. These things, the way that they're designed, is, I believe, one of the strongest bumpers for their weight than any bumper on the market. These bumpers are made in a way that keeps the weight down. And to me, that's very important because you don't want to just add, these things already get heavy enough without just building everything just way too heavy. So you want it as light as you can, and a bumper is a good way to save that. I mean, just look at this thing. Look how it's made, all the different broke lines in it. That adds strength. It's only made from like mostly 1/8 inch plate steel. But this bumper is so strong because of all those broke lines. Well, let's see if I can see around here. Even like the backside lip here. See how this is broke back in? That makes this thing so strong in here. You've got the corners. Then on the back side there, see how they've made this brace? That really adds some strength to it there. The bar work here has really nice tight bends. It's really nice. You see how the bar, it comes through the bumper all the way through. And what I like about this is the tube is open in the bottom, so it doesn't collect moisture in the bottom and rust out the plate work in the bottom part of the tube where it meets the bumper. You're not going to have an issue with corrosion with that. Now I want you to notice this right here, this bend I've got in it. That was from hitting a Ford Escape head on. That's one of the reasons why that I like this ARB bull bar. This thing has proven to be trusting to me. We hit that Ford Escape head on. We come around a blind corner on a real remote backcountry track. We was probably 30 miles in the middle of nowhere at the time, which isn't the most remote we get, but still it's further enough back that you need to be able to get back to civilization. You want to trust your products that you got on your car to where you know that you're going to make it back. And this is all that happened. That Ford Escape, the entire front end of the car was pushed back all the way against the motor, and it was undrivable. Luckily, he had some other buddies with him in other vehicles. I gave him my tow strap, and they had to tow him back. And we drove out of there. And this is all. We got a little scratch here, a little mark in the powder coat right here. You see here, right there is the only dent we got. Now that is absolutely amazing, isn't it? That's what I want for a bumper. I want a bumper that will get me back if I hit an animal. As bad as I would hate to think about hitting an animal, I've did it before in the past with other vehicles, and it's a very sad moment for me. I don't like to kill an animal that way. But when you're traveling in these remote areas, there's always a chance of that happening, as sad as it is. Or like our situation where we hit a car around that blind curve that was on the wrong side of the road. We want to be able to know that we're going to at least get back home. We're going to protect our radiator. We're going to protect those vital things. And I didn't even do any cosmetic damage to the vehicle itself, just that little bit to the bumper. The bumper did its job. Another nice feature that the ARB bull bar has is you got a couple of light mounts. Another nice feature is the fair lead actually bolts up through the vertical pins, bolt up through the bumper. We've also got up here, we've got an antenna mount. We also got another antenna mount, which is good to be able to run two different kinds of radios. Right now I'm running just marine band, but if I wanted to add a UHF or CB to the car, I'd have a place to mount it. It also mounts my trusty high lift jack, which is to me is the best place to mount a jack. The reason why I mount the jack up here, my main reason is because it keeps the jack clean. I've mounted jacks on the back bumper in the past, and then when you run several hundred miles of backcountry, you end up with the jack just absolutely full of dirt and grime, and the workings of it doesn't want to work good anymore. But I have found here in my last couple of vehicles that if I mount the jack on the front bumper, that thing stays clean, and with the neoprene bag over it, all you're basically having to deal with is just keeping water out of it. You don't have that dust problem that you have with the rear bar. So that keeps the jack really good working. You always build a trust on it. I bought that jack back in the late 90s, somewhere around probably 97. And that jack's been a trusty friend. I've used it a ton over the years. It's been a trusty friend to me. When you buy a high lift jack, buy a high lift jack. Don't buy a cheap knockoff jack. Get the real deal. Another nice feature that the ARB bull bar has is these nice recessed lights with nice broke edges. So that also gains strength to that front plate, having that broke edge around that light. I've got the lights wired up as marker lights. They're pretty bright for a marker light. And I think that gives a little bit added visibility whenever you're in foggy conditions for oncoming drivers. You also got 2 points here, which I use as lifting points. I don't use them as road recovery points. I firmly believe that the factory location of the recovery point is actually a stronger point. And that's been engineered by Toyota to be able to pull straight off the frame rail. And will have a lot more strength than pulling off any bumper. I believe that there's not a bumper out there that has actually a good 100% trouble-free toe point on it, because many times they are up higher than the chassis rail and will put more stress, twisting motion on the chassis rail than what you got if you're pulling straight off the chassis rail. You've also got the winch mount is mounted different than a lot of bumpers do. It mounts with the bolts facing forward. So instead of the bolts being in shear, with the winch mounted down flat where the bolts are coming in from the bottom, they're coming in from the front. So you're pushing, actually pulling the winch to the bumper, so the bolts never get any stress on them. It's all pulling straight, basically pulling the winch to the bumper, which to me is a far superior design than the other way of mounting them. These vertical plates right there, they go all the way through. That's the main rail. It goes all the way down, all one piece. Let's see here. That goes all the way through, and that's the side plate. So you got 2 bolts on the side, you got 2 in the bottom. Now let's go up here. Let's look down from the top side. Let's see, look on this side. I'll get the camera down here. Then you got 2 from the top, and then it's boxed in totally in the bottom, and that slides over the entire horn. Guys, that's the reason why I run the ARB bull bar. It's got features in it that's unlike any other bumper out there, I believe. This bumper, it gains you so much. You've got a good strong bumper that's going to protect it from animal strikes, even from a car hit. You've got auxiliary lights. You've got extra marker lights that's going to also give you safety in foggy conditions. It gives you a good, strong, very well thought out winch mount. It gives you place for auxiliary lighting. It gives you place for 2 aerials for communications. And on top of that, a reputation all over the world of protecting vehicles traveling to remote areas. This is the bumper that I endorse on everything that we build and everything that I'll run from here on out. There's some bumpers out there that are way more stylish, I agree. But I do not believe any of those bumpers have the protection measures that the ARB does. And that's the reason why I run the ARB. It is a bumper that you can trust. But don't forget to press like and push that subscribe button that's around there somewhere. And I'll have some more videos out for you here in just the next couple days. I'll see you later.